Hey, what's going on, everyone? Jun here with Hapa英会話, and joining me today is CJ. What's up, CJ? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Doing well. Thanks for asking.
All right, thanks. Yeah, thanks.
So let's talk about alternative expressions for the word delicious. I know that you live in Japan right now. You get to eat delicious foods every single day, man. I'm very jealous.
All day, every day.
Yeah,
definitely.
You know, in LA, man, it's hit or miss out here. You got some good stuff, and then you got a lot of terrible stuff here. In Japan, you're always hitting 100% of the time.
100%.
And it's cheap. I think that's what it is about Japan, is that you get quality food for very fair price.
It's a fair
We're not talking about price here today. We're going to talk about how to say delicious in other ways. CJ, what are some words you use besides delicious to talk about food that tastes really good?
Okay, let me give you one. Have you ever heard someone say off the hook?
Off the hook. Yeah.
Off the hook, man. This is off the hook.
Yeah. All right.
Occasionally, I have to break that one out.
Okay. So so for people watching this, what does it mean when something is off the hook, or when the food you're eating is off the hook?
Now that's an interesting question, because this off the hook can apply to several things, not only food. Yeah. So in this case, though, I would say that it means delicious. That's exactly what it means. You know, if we say we have some hamburger or a hamburger, I'm in Japan. I guess I'll say ramen. Let's go with ramen. All right. So we get some ramen, and it's, you know, real spicy and everything, and it's tasting real good. You say, man, this is off the hook.
Off the hook.
It just means delicious.
Yeah.
That's it.
So just a very conversational way of saying something is super delicious. Definitely. Would you say it's like more on the informal side? Like, would you want to use that expression, like, let's say, like in a formal setting, or like when you're out with your coworkers and stuff like that?
Like personally, I wouldn't say it to my mom.
But you wouldn't say it to your mom.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't say it to her. I would say that this is generally speaking, and it depends on the household, but I would say generally speaking, this is a friend's type of vocabulary. Yeah. Right. Coworkers, maybe coworkers too.
Yeah. If you're close enough with
very
your
casual. Right? Yeah. Casual setting. Yeah. Definitely.
And, you know, like you mentioned, off the hook, you know, we hear that expression here in LA too. You know, we could talk about food that's really good, or you can talk about, you know, a party, you know, that's off the hook, or
off the
thing,
hook,
right? Yeah.
Right.
I think it's just like another way of saying something's like amazing, or something's awesome, or something's great, right? And it could be applied to so many different situations. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that's the truth.
Right.
That's the truth. Right.
What else you got?
What else? Okay. So here's one that is extremely casual.
Okay. Extremely casual. Even more than off the hook.
Even more so than off the hook. Okay. And that is dope.
Dope. All right.
Dope. So if somebody refers to the same ramen as, man, this is dope. Then this means the same, delicious. Right?
Okay.
In this case.
What does it mean, CJ? Like the actual meaning of dope. Let's get into this right here.
Okay. So if my understanding is correct, then this and this is why I say you have to be careful with it, because it actually may be taken, if I'm not mistaken, from the drugs. Yeah. Dope. You know, it's a slang word for drugs. Now, of course, today, 2022, people don't necessarily use it in that context, right? Yeah. Now it's used to call something cool, or in this case, delicious. So, but if you think about where it came from, most likely it came from the drug.
So that's how I know the word dope too. Is like it's another word for drugs, right? It's like the street word for drugs. Obviously, man, I'm not young anymore. I don't know what the language for drugs these days. But when I hear the word dope, I even like during my like high school, college days, I feel like the word dope meaning drugs it already felt like an older word. It may be like my dad's in the 70s, you know,
that's exactly right.
Like, you know, cocaine was really big in the United States. I felt like they referred to drugs during then as dope, right? Or like when I watch movies, I feel like I hear them talking about drugs that's dope in that like 70s, 80s era.
Right. I would agree with you 100%. Probably that era, right around the 70s. And by the 90s, we were already, and maybe even the 80s, I don't know. We were already using it to call something cool or, it's true.
And that's the cool thing about language, right? Is that you have these words and with time they evolve, the meanings change. Most of the times it becomes like the opposite of what it originally meant. So like dope, drugs, obviously not a word that you want to be using, but then, young people have ways of like making bad words into something that sounds really cool, right?
So. Yeah, but see, there's the danger that lies because let's see, what's the situation? I don't know. Maybe a coworker is talking to their boss. The boss says something positive. And if we respond with, that's dope, that could be dangerous. I mean, it depends on the person's age. It depends on a lot of things.
But
it could be potentially not good if we use. Yeah.
So that's why CJ mentioned before you started talking about the word dope it's extremely casual, extremely informal. It's a good word to probably know because you probably hear people using it. You might hear it in movies and stuff like that, but in terms of like you personally using it in everyday conversation, it's probably better off just not to use the expression, right? Any other expressions you got for delicious?
Let me give you two more quick ones because I don't use them at all. I've never used them, but one is delectable.
Delectable. All right. I've never used that one either.
All right. The other is scrumptious.
Okay. Yep. I get that. I hear that one a lot too. All right.
Really?
I hear it because I am a teacher, I should say. I don't hear it from like my friends or family using it, but I think I hear my students using it as an alternative for delicious sometimes. Perfect discussion right here. So these two words, don't really use them?
No, never.
But
and I know I hear them, but where I don't know where I hear them, but I hear them. But I definitely don't use them.
Yeah.
Not my style. Not my style.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Those two words are not words I typically use in everyday conversation. Like scrumptious, for example, I think the only time I may see it is like somebody's Instagram post or like somebody trying to write like a blog, like a foodie writing like an article about how delicious something is and they're running out of like adjectives. So instead of delicious, they throw in scrumptious in there. But something everyday conversation, it's just pretty rare, right? To hear these delectable and scrumptious. I got another kind of slangy one here that I guess I use it more with like my closer friends. So definitely more on the casual side. I want to know if you actually use it. I'm sure you've heard of it. It might be a Cali thing. Bomb. Like this pizza is bomb or this hamburger is bomb. You heard that expression before?
I've heard it.
Use it?
No.
I
don't use it. I had to think about it. But I don't use it. But no, you're right. We hear it. We heard it back when I was in Louisville, Kentucky. We heard it a lot.
Oh, really? Was that like more like amongst the younger crowd or older people, or was there like a demographic that was using that expression?
Definitely younger. Definitely younger. Middle school, high school age. But then of course, I can say that once I left high school and on into other learning, I didn't hear it as much after high school, I would say.
Like a high school thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe so.
I got a couple more here. How about this one? Hit the spot. Like that hit the spot. You ever use that expression?
Do I use it? No, but that's another one that I've heard regularly.
Okay.
That hit the spot. Yeah. I've never I'm thinking about it now.
Yeah.
I've never thought about it as delicious, but I guess now that you mention it, that is what we are saying if we say that hit the spot.
Yeah, right. Because I think it's similar and different, right? Because like delicious, for example, let's say you go to a ramen shop and you take a bite and you'd say, this is delicious. Like after that first bite, you could say, this is delicious. But you wouldn't say this hit the spot after the first bite. You would only use this hit the spot after you finish the entire bowl of ramen and then you feel like super satisfied and you're like, that hit the spot.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. But you're right. You're right. It does imply that it was delicious, because if we finish off something that we didn't like the way it tasted at all, we're probably not likely to say it hit the spot. Exactly. It didn't hit the spot, right? It filled us up, but we're not satisfied. We're not happy. That's a good point. Yeah, right.
Let's say in Japan, after in the summertime, it gets super hot, super humid, scorching hot out there. You get like an ice cold beer, or whatever drink of preference it is that you like, and you're thirsty and you just wanted an ice cold drink, and you just take like one swig out of whatever drink it is that you had. Maybe you didn't finish the whole thing. Maybe you just took like a quarter of whatever cup it is. I think in those kind of situations, you might say like, that hit the spot, even though you didn't finish the entire glass of your water, beer, or whatever drink it is that you had.
So then it goes back to what you said, though, that there's a few things that have to happen. You have to be satisfied.
You have to be satisfied. Yeah. And
so
you have to maybe have like a craving too, right? Like you're craving a certain thing, and that craving satisfies you. Maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, we covered quite a bit. We went from a lot super informal, casual expressions to, a lot of good stuff that we talked about here. And, to everybody watching this, I hope you guys found it useful. Hope you got the nuance of each word today. But before you guys take off, don't forget that CJ offers awesome lessons on Cafe Talk. All of his lessons his information is listed in the description below, or you can go to cafetalk.com and find him there. CJ, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
See you next time. Bye, guys.
See you.